David's story, he was 10 when he was diagnosed, and his reaction at 10 was very different than his reaction when he relapsed at 14. At 10, David, was still a young boy. His idea of fun was bike riding and playing with his dog and his neighbors, all the typical things a 10-year-old does. And so when he had his severe hip pain and joint pain, I really thought he was making it up because David didn't like going to school and he just wanted to stay home and watch TV. And so I didn't believe him. I really thought he was making it up. And then eventually, after a couple of weeks, we found out that it was leukemia. And David's reaction when we told him he had leukemia, he didn't know what leukemia was. He didn't know what cancer was. So his reaction was, okay, I have cancer. How are you going to treat it? And he just thought he was going to get better. And then when he was 14, his experience was his reaction was, why me? Why is this happening to me? What did I do to deserve this? And of course, you have no answer for that. And he was very aware of what the chemo was. He was aware of the pills he was going to have to take, how he was going to feel. He knew everything. And so to him, it was just torture the second time around. And I learned, so those were totally different reactions. As a 10-year-old, he reacted like, as long as he looked at me and he said, am I going to be okay? And I said, yes, then he believed me. But at 14, he had the maturity to realize that, okay, you can't really protect me from this. What's going to happen? And he was scared. He was terrified. He didn't tell us that. There's no answer. There's no answer. I just said it's not something you did. This is, like the oncologist says, it S blank blank T happens. And that's, I think that's the realization that, life is not fair. And it's one of those very tough life lessons. And then my husband and I wished it would have been us, not him. He didn't do anything to deserve this. Honestly, I don't think there are a lot of rabbis or priests who know how to have this type of conversation. I do spiritual support at a local hospital, and our rabbi at the hospital is trained in palliative care. So she knows how to have the discussions, but the priests don't. They aren't trained in this. I mean, it's a very specialized conversation, and it has to be practiced a lot.